Okay, I did a Daisy test, Daisy 880, on some glycerin soap, and for a lot of you wanting to know what the difference is between glycerin soap and FBI ballistic gel, and it's basically 50% of ballistics gel. So however far the pellet penetrates, you just double it. So that's the mathematical formula that I went off of after calibrating ballistics gel. I went and calibrated the glycerin soap, and this glycerin soap here was shot at 72 degrees Fahrenheit, and that makes a difference too, simply because if you shoot at a higher temperature, the pellets go in further. So you have to make sure you're at a certain temperature. But what I've noticed here is there's a whole bunch of pellets here, but what I've noticed is that some of the heaviest ones, like the Unjin, this one here, is 16 grain. It went through quite a ways, which is pretty impressive for a very heavy pellet. Some of these are hollow points down here that I tested. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to read these off for you, and then I am going to tell you a little bit about each, and then I'm going to make a list showing how far each of them penetrated. What was really interesting is, once again, the Skenko 5.3 pellet here, lead free with that plastic skirt, really penetrated quite deeply. So if you take this penetration and you double it, it's 6¼ inches FBI standard ballistics gel. Since this is 50%, you just double it. But anyway, I'm going to read off the pellets for you, and then I'll make a list later. So this one here is a Crosman SSP. That's a lead-free pellet. This one's RWS Hypermax. This one here is a Skenko Orange, or now actually Crosman has them, they call them penetrators. So that's what they are. Also, they're basically the same pellet. This is a Gamma Raptor. Here is the Gamma Lethal. And one point I wanted to make too is that on steel, some of these pellets are going to do better. Like for instance, the Gamma Lethal will punch through certain types of steel. Same thing with the Skenko pellet. But in a glycerin block, they're probably going to perform differently. And it depends on your muzzle velocity too. Since this is a Daisy 880, if a higher spring gun was used, it's probably going to go in quite a bit further. Okay, so on to this one. After the Gamma Lethal is the FTS by Beeman. This is a lead-free pellet. And then after that is, let's see, after the FTS, Blue Arrow. This is a Skenko pellet. You probably can't see the blue in there. Okay, and then the next one, I'm reading off a list here. It's kind of slightly cloudy, so I can't see my own pellets in there. I know what they are, but I just can't see them too well. Gamma Armor right there. This is a round shot lead ball by Gamma RWS, whatever company you want to get them from. They're just lead round shot. Gamma Whisper and a Crosman Heavy 10.5 grain. They're both 10.5, but look at the Crosman. The Crosman actually does just the same as the Gamma Whisper. The Gamma Whisper is it's nickel and copper jacketed, but they both do about the same. However, in the steel test, Gamma Whisper did just a little bit better. But for price, probably want to stick with the Crosman Heavies 10.5 grain. This one here is a Gamma Redfire, and you can see how it's separated inside there. This one here is a Predator. Both the Predator and the Redfire are about the same kind of pellet in their design, similar. Okay, then you got the Super Hollow Point by RWS, Cro-Magnum by Beeman, and maybe I should flip this. So just remember, I'm going to make a list for you guys so you can compare the chart of each one, how far they went in. I'm going to measure each of them. Okay, so We got the Unjin right there. And then we got the Crossman Destroyer, which I believe is right here. You can tell the Crossman Destroyer, what it does is it turns into a pointed pellet after it's a hollow point. And then you got the Gamo Blue Flame, Gamo Rocket, Beam Silver Bear, Gamo Tomahawk, Gamo Magnum, Gamo Hunter, Gamo Master Point, Crossman Pointed, Beam and Silver Sting, RWS Super Point. Okay, this is a Crossman Super Point. A lot of people confuse the Super Point with Crossman Pointed. The Super Point is different than Crossman Pointed. It's got a ridge around the pellet that offers more grab on the rifling. So you probably see that in my videos down in my ammo section on my main page. And then you got Daisy Pointed right here. It's a real light pellet. It's kind of a soft lead pellet. But once again, what impressed me is that the heavyweight pellets do very well for penetration. So at long range, the heavy pellet's the way to go. You can see here you got the Unjin. Even though it's extremely heavy, it's like a freight train, it's still penetrating probably better than almost all the lead pellets that are on here. And then you might want to buy some Crossman penetrators. The reason being that if you're a hunter, I don't really hunt squirrel now or anything, but I know some guys were talking about hunting squirrel, and I had mentioned to them, if you have a branch in the way, some of these pellets might not have enough energy. But if you have a branch in the way, I guarantee you at short range, even though these aren't accurate at long range, but at short range, if there's a branch in the way, it's going to go through that branch and it's going to keep on going. So that's where the extra penetration comes in. So sometimes you need penetration, sometimes you might want to stick with a hollow point like these here. So it's up to you. But anyway, once again, the glycerin block, after doing mathematical formulas, I found out that it's exactly 50% of FBI Federal Ballistics Gel. So, and what that requires is a 5.3 BB going in approximately 3.5 to 4 inches of any kind of material. And what I did is I fired a BB in here and it was 2 inches, so all you have to do is double it. So 2 and 2 is 4. So that's how I come up with 50% that this block actually is. And I didn't get too technical, so I just assumed the Federal Ballistics Gel, rather than 375 like they say or something like that, I just rounded it off to 4 for a standard. So this is exactly 50% of that. So because anything you shoot in here is half of what it would be in Federal Ballistics Gel. So if you wanted to, maybe I should show you one more time. I'll show you like this one here. Crossman penetrator or Skenko orange, call it what you will. I'm going to measure that on the stick here. Let's see. Okay, so you got about 3 inches, right? So if you add 3 and 3, you get 6. So from here to here is actually what it would penetrate on the human flesh scale. So that's half a foot. So if you take out, next time you take out a ruler, look at 6 inches. That's pretty deep. So the penetrators are pretty serious air gun rounds. So anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. I didn't prepare for this. I don't plan on being professional with my videos. I'm not getting paid for them anyway. So I just love sharing things with people, sharing data, sharing air guns, all kinds of stuff. So just something to entertain you guys. But hope you enjoyed the video, and thanks for watching.